We got Josh Upshire on here. Where are you driving?
I am driving currently. Yes, sir.
All right, well, be careful. How we doing? How are the boys doing?
Good, good.
Good, good.
Eager to get back on the court, man.
I'm gonna try and go to this game tomorrow. I already had to cancel my game tonight. I have a little case of strep, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to the doctors today. So I'm gonna try really hard to come to your game tomorrow. Okay, really
Should
hard.
be should be a good one tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be great. I mean, Matthews and Badger, old rivals. I talked about
Yep.
this a little before he came on. The last game came down to the last second as well, so we could get another one of those. And but what do you got for me? Anything new?
Just preparing for getting better for the tournament. So tournament draw was yesterday, and
Yes, we're going to
we're
talk about that.
we were fortunate enough to have the 6th seed for our tournament. So we gotta prepare. We still have that bullseye on our back, so
Yes,
prepare for that.
yes. So, so you guys are going to take on Fairport, and we all know what happened last time. They hit the buzzer beater at the end. So I'm sure you're. Yes, me too. I'm included on this. That we're pretty anxious to face them again, and they're coming in the Badger too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you'll
Yep.
have a little bit of advantage there. And I've noticed Fairport always seems to do better at home too, not on the
Yeah.
road. I've noticed that too. So that should be good. But I was looking at your post from yesterday. I'm actually looking at it right now, and it looks like what you would play Springfield next if you would
Yeah.
beat Fairport.
Yeah. Tough,
So
tough Springfield team. So yeah,
yes, they're
we
scrappy.
if
Yeah,
we're fortunate enough to make it past Fairport, then yeah, we would go with Springfield in the next round. That would still be a home game for us.
and
So
then
Springfield. Yep.
Yep, yeah. But then you could possibly match up with either Bristol or Matthews again. I see
Yeah.
there after that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Bristol
Either one.
plays Loudville.
Loudonville. Yeah.
Loudonville.
Loudonville chose to drive 2 hours to play Bristol. So
Oh, geez.
that's a long bus ride on a Tuesday night.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it is.
um, but yeah, we have a nice opportunity to have an NAC matchup for the district semifinals. So
Yes, yes. And I was
we just have to
looking.
take care of our business. So
Yes, that's true. And I was looking at this side of the bracket, and I'm like, oh boy, what teams we got in here? And I noticed that Cornerstone Christian isn't on this
yeah,
side, and neither
yep.
is Richmond Heights. So we'll be. I mean,
We
that's
so yeah,
nice. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that yet. So
yeah, yep.
just one game at a time now.
As I was just gonna say, as Coach Turnage says, we take it one game at a time. So, ready to get into the tournament. We still got to be prepared to a good Matthews team tomorrow. We had to save a free throw at the end. So,
Yep,
um,
yep.
it'll be a tough matchup going into the shoebox tomorrow, and
Yeah,
hopefully
that's literally
we're
what it
able to do
is
it.
too.
So,
That's literally what it
yeah,
is too. It's
yep.
so small in there, and I'm like, where am I gonna set up? Like, so I got to get in touch with my
Yep.
buddy Brian Oatridge, who works for YSN and he coaches for Matthews. So I'm gonna have to go talk to him.
Yeah. Yep.
But it should be a great
But then
game.
we just yep.
Go ahead, go ahead.
We just rescheduled our PV. We just rescheduled our PV game for next Monday. So we'll have a tough stretch there. PV Monday,
Yes,
Heartland on Tuesday. So
yes. At PV still.
yes, sir, at PV. Yep.
Okay. Yes, yeah. We were supposed to go there Friday, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, what happened? We won't go into that, but I mean,
Yep.
we'll, prayers are out with PV, and hopefully
Yeah.
everything's okay with
Yep.
them. Man. But it should be a
Yep.
great matchup. That's
Yeah.
very anticipated, especially after. I mean, they handed you guys your first loss, and that was a 1 point. What was it? 1 point or 3
Yeah.
points?
Another 3 with about 4 seconds left. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yep.
So you got a lot of anticipated matchups coming up your way, and
Yeah.
Heartland Christian as well. So a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of holes to be patched up per se.
Yeah.
and so you got the
Yeah,
right
and
group of
depending
guys
on
to help too.
depending on what happens on Friday, or I mean what happens on Tuesday, we could be at Wyndham on Friday or at St. John on Friday. So two very tough places to play. So we have a schedule that should get us ready for the tournament. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, yes. So it
Yep.
should be one heck of a ride, though. I mean, last
Yeah.
year, look what you guys did last year. You were a 9
Yeah.
seed, made it all the way to the district semifinal. I was calling it the Cinderella run.
Yep.
Now this year, you got big Duncan Moy in the lineup. Imagine if you had him last year. Oh my goodness! But
Yeah. Yeah.
you guys
I told
got
him a
the
couple of
pieces.
times.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did. You guys got the right pieces. You've got,
Yep.
I mean, of course, Duncan is the front point. Brad Hamilton has had a solid senior year, 1,000 points, of
Yeah.
course. And Cole Burnett, he's been up and down. He's had some really
Yeah.
great games. But I just have that feeling that he's going to get into that mode and just lock into it before those playoffs. So,
Yep.
but you
Yeah.
almost know.
We definitely have the pieces to make it to make a nice run.
Yes.
We have to do what we do,
Yes.
and focus on what we do. If we focus on what we do, like I said, we have the pieces to make a nice run. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, we have to do what we do.
Yes, absolutely. And it's been an honor being broadcasting you guys all year long, and we've even shouted us out on WKBN too. I know you got some backlash for that, but
Yeah,
it's
and
been great.
and
Yeah.
and like I said, it was nothing against WKBN, but
No. No.
YSN has been on our side since the beginning of last year. When we signed on with YSN, they've shown nothing but love for our community and for our athletes. And that's at the end of the day, that's all it really was just let people know that we appreciate what WKBN did for us, but and you were at
Yeah.
the game. You still called the
Yeah.
game even though
Still call the
WKBN was
game.
there. And you guys have been on our side since day one. So I just wanted to give that shout out to you guys for an appreciation for you guys being there for us.
Yes, and I appreciate that. But how about this? Um, how do you feel about the blended districts in D4 and how it gives the best teams to have that chance to go far? How do you feel about that?
Um, the blended districts aren't. It is what it is. But for me, it's the entire feel of the tournament. I'm an old school guy. I would much rather have the one site for the tournament, but I don't think that's ever going to go back to the way that it was. Um, you know, Even though you host the home tournament games, you're still not allowed to do certain things, signs up on the walls and those types of things.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm more for the old school, just have it at one place, whether it's at Grand Valley or Struthers or Norton, wherever it may be. I'm more for that old school feel, and have your team come and
oh, we might have lost Josh
there we
there.
are.
Oh, there we
There we
go.
are.
There we go.
Sorry, I had a
It's
phone
okay.
call.
Oh, it's
But
okay.
yeah, I'm for the old school tournament atmosphere. I have your team show up and watch other games and that stuff. It was pretty cool that way.
Yeah, it's easier to go to those games too,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yep.
one place, and you have the opportunity to look at the team that you know where they're gonna be. You don't know where
Yeah.
you don't know that they're
Yep.
gonna skip around like sometimes they do. So you have the opportunity to scout the team. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
People are making 2-hour drives, rather
Right.
than going
And
one
and and
one spot.
and I will say that the toughest part with the blended district is there were probably a good 10 to 12 teams that I had no clue of anything about other than their bio and look them up on Max Preps and see, their
Yeah,
schedule. But, it's not a familiar team where we're able to pull up some film on them and scout them a little bit before that, or we've seen them play, like you have in your normal district. So I'd say that's the toughest part. It's just there's about 10 to 12 teams that you don't really know anything about. So
no, no. But I do know one thing: you guys have had some very close games. We talked about the Matthews and the PV game, and they've
Yeah.
gone either way so far. It's a 50-50 chance. So
Yeah.
how do those close games against like Maplewood, against PV, Matthews, Heartland Christian, how do those prepare you guys for like the main stage of the tournament? I know I've talked to you about this before too.
So you're just hoping that you learn from those experiences. We've had some very entertaining endings, I'll say.
Yes.
Whether it's with the Heartland Christian game or the PV game, any of those games. You hope at the end of the day you learn from those mistakes and you move on and prepare you for the next time that it happens. So the Maplewood ending didn't really end the way the other games ended.
No.
We with the Maplewood game we kind of passed the ball too much,
Yeah.
for lack of better terms. Nobody was eager to take the shot at the end of the game. You're hoping you have that one player who wants to take the shot. We passed it around. We had 18 seconds with the ball, and
Yeah.
we didn't get a shot off. So a lot of guys wanting somebody else to take the shot, I think. So you're hoping at the end of the day you're just learning from those experiences, and next time we get that experience, hopefully we do have somebody that wants to take that shot and knocks it down.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I've been there. I've had the heartache through it. But what other main things do you have to work on to come out with some of those close games? I know you've talked about the defense, and
Hmm.
even passing the ball, like you just said, you got to shoot quicker.
Yeah,
But I remember the main thing is the defense that you were talking
yeah,
about. If you want to give that little spiel.
yeah, and that's my biggest thing in the end of all post game talks is we got to continue to get better on defense. We have some lapses there. I mean, go back to the PV game. We were up 17 in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
You can't have those mental lapses on the defensive end to allow them to come back from a 17-point game. So
Um,
you're hoping that our focus is defense the last few practices. So you're hoping that you're getting after it a little bit more. And I feel like we have been getting after it a little bit more in practice.
yes.
I feel like we were prepared to go in for a battle on Friday and have a very good defensive game plan. So hopefully that can carry over to tomorrow's game. I know Coach Weimer and Coach Jason Lee over there. I know they're going to have something to take Duncan out of the game. And, going and talking about that, when I'm on the games with you for the girls' games,
Yeah.
and the teams take away Katie, and I always say, it's somebody else is going to have to step up to replace her when they're trying to take her out of the game. So, we're looking for that next guy to step up if they're
Yeah.
trying to take Duncan out of the game. And
You need to find
we,
your Bree Huscroft. You need to
yeah,
find your
right.
Bree
Yep.
Huscroft who comes out,
Yeah.
makes 3 or 4 threes a game, and then you
Right.
even have Julia Toth that makes a
Yeah.
lot of great plays, and
Yep.
Mackenzie Gross as well.
And
So
we have those players. I mean, we have a lot of guys who are very skilled offensively.
yes,
So, they
Preston
just
and Lou, and
yeah.
even the young
Brad
Tyler
Hamilton,
McWilliams. Tyler
Tyler
McWilliams
McWilliams,
came in,
Bryce.
and
Yeah.
Bryce as well. Bryce can get
Yep.
some good rebounds. I'm glad you brought up Bryce. How is his nose doing?
Well, Bryce claims that in a couple weeks he's gonna be taking the mask off. I don't know if he's talked to his parents about that yet or not,
Oh, geez.
um, but he's a kid who's just hard nosed, tough, gets
Yeah.
after it, gritty. Doesn't necessarily score the ball for us, but he
No.
gets after it defensively, and he can score the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
he has quite a few threes for us on the year. So
Yes.
he's a
Yes.
kid you don't want to leave open.
Clutch
But
threes too.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But his biggest thing for us is defending and rebounding, and he does a very good job with that. So, but yeah, going back to tomorrow, we know that Matthews is going to come in with a game plan to take Duncan out, and
Yeah.
other guys are going to have to step up and try and score for us. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it. They're gonna have a great game plan. They did the first time,
They sure did.
and you're going in the shoebox, and I'm assuming it's going to be their senior night tomorrow. So it'll be a tough matchup. Looking forward to it. Packed house. I mean, it doesn't seat. It was we hold 1,046 in our gym, and
Yeah.
I know there was well beyond that in our gym. So
Yes.
I don't think the shoebox holds nearly that. So get there
It doesn't.
early if you plan on being there.
And I remember going. I remember it's still that high school right next to Brothers Pizza, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, I remember going and to play there in middle school, and there's only one gym. Like all teams play in that one gym, right?
Yeah. That's it.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
that's how that
Yeah.
school's been there for ages. I'm pretty sure my grandma graduated from that school, and she's like 75. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
so sorry to throw my grandma under the bus, but I mean that school needs to be replaced. But I mean, I remember going in their middle school games in the locker rooms. They got all the pipes coming out of the
Yeah.
ceiling and stuff like that. And I
Hey,
remember,
it's warm in the locker rooms. It is very hot in those
I
locker rooms.
remember one of my old teammates was like, "Hey, hey, check this out!" and actually touched one of the pipes
Oh,
and burned himself pretty bad. I'm like, "Oh my
yep.
gosh, this whole
Yep.
school's a liability." It is. It really is,
uh,
especially for Cole and Duncan in there. They probably smacked their heads off of
yeah.
everything because
Yep.
it's just about 8 foot ceiling or so.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe even 7 to 8 foot. So and you have
Yep.
stuff hanging down.
Right.
So tell them look
But it's
out for
cool.
the exit signs.
It's cool to have different environments to play in. The students are going to be on top of you. The fans are going to be on top of you. Yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite places to play just because of the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
Um, Not necessarily because it's a great place to play, but the nostalgia of it, knowing that Rex Leach played there, and it's an old school gym. So it is. I mean, it is cool for our kids to play in different environments. So I look forward to going there every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's always anticipated to
Yeah.
go there. Like they come to Badger, but like it's good to win at home, but like we want to go there and beat them there too. Like
Yeah.
that's how it feels like, especially
Yep.
when I went to Badger. But I mean, a couple other things before I know you got to go here soon. But oh, he's cutting in and out.
Sorry,
You there?
guys.
You there?
Yep. I
People keep
got a phone
calling
call.
you.
Yeah. I'm very important, I guess.
I guess so. I guess so. But a couple more questions for you. I know you got to get going
Yep.
here soon.
Yeah.
So, what do you got to do here? We talked about that defensive side. We talked, and rebounding goes with that, and you have, the odd guys going in and rebound. Like Brad comes in and rebounds, but you have Cole and Duncan down there too, and Duncan
Hmm.
can rebound as well. But what do you have to do to especially get Cole to get going down there? Like Cole seems to be a little bit out of place sometimes. I think he gets a little like honestly a little scared down there. So what do you gotta do just to bump up his volume, pump up his volume a little bit?
Cole just has to
Motivate
get
him.
back to Cole just has to get back to what he was doing well at the beginning of the season. I think towards the end here, he knows his senior season's winding down, and he's kind of forcing things a little bit. He needs to get back to one or two dribbles, and then if he doesn't have a shot, kick it back out. Like I
Okay.
said, I feel like he's kind of stressing a little bit, knowing that end of the season's coming, and he's forcing things a little too much.
I feel that
We
too.
need to get back to watching that film early in the season on what he did well. Put him in spots to make sure that he's having his success. So, that's my job as a head coach to make sure that I'm putting him in those spots to succeed. And going back at it, I feel like those are the spots that he was able to have some success in, was to be able to not over dribble, or not try to force things on offense. So
All right, all right. So one more question.
yeah.
We won't go too much into it, but there has been some controversial calls and stuff like that. What do you like, especially in the past couple of games? But like, what do you got to do to? And I believe that was a big factor in the PV game too. Like you said, you guys are up by 17. I think there were some fouls called, and maybe the momentum fell off a little bit. What do you have to do to get your guys like you gotta be like, hey, no matter what foul calls, no matter if you know it's wrong or not, just keep playing the game that you grew up playing. What do you gotta do just to keep them, in that vision, basically, to keep them in that
Uh,
walk?
For me, I told our guys, especially after the Maplewood game, that I'm not one that's gonna allow us to use a crutch that some bad calls didn't go or some calls didn't go our way. Because if we play the way that we know how to play, then the refs aren't we aren't putting the refs in a position to say they made a bad call. So I refuse to allow us to use that crutch that that there were bad calls. Going back and looking at it, there were some calls that we got away with.
Yeah.
That I
Yep.
feel like we fouled them a little bit at the end that they didn't call it on us. So it evens out as much as people feel like calls don't go our way. I feel like there are times where we get away with some stuff. So, but yeah, I refuse to allow our kids to use that crutch of, the refs made a bad call or this and that. At the end of the day, we just got to play the way we know how to play and make plays. And if we do that, then I feel like we're going to be successful either way. So, but yeah, I don't allow our guys to use that crutch and say, we lost the game because of officials. There are 10 to 15 plays throughout a game that if we make them, then, it'll never come down to one official's call. So that's just my opinion.
But yes, and I agree with you. But hey, I know you got some stuff to do, so I
Yep.
appreciate you coming on here, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. But if not, I'll try and keep tabs on it. And good luck to you tomorrow, though. And we'll see you. We'll see you soon.
All right, Matt. Thanks, bud.